My crazy fourth period. Now, this is a story of why I don't fall for female nature, why I never fell for female nature, but why it is good to know what's going on instead of constantly get played and constantly get teased. So every fourth period, I would ditch class and I would hang with 4 cheerleaders at the library, and literally, it would be so fucking crazy because one was really freaking wild, who was always cracking jokes, always making me laugh and shit, doing everything that I thought a girl couldn't do, literally. But literally, the other ones were literally just comprehensive, like really kind of supporting. I can feel all the fake energy, but the visuals are so nice. Is the reason why I stick around. But it's literally, it pains me to say it, but visually it looked like it was the best shit ever. But I went along with it because literally I had nothing else better to do, and I could not get sold this dream. No matter how hard I tried, there was this time where I was a senior where I felt like I could be picking and choosing, and this is Seymour's time. Now Seymour had validation on top of validation on top of validation, and me, I had the same thing, but it wasn't concrete. It was flaky. It was the flakiest shit I've ever seen. There was this girl that was twerking, literally making stupid ass noises, getting my attention when she already had a boyfriend. And there was this other girl that was pretending to be tired and literally flashed a capsule full of weed right in front of me. Now these are all fucking cheerleaders and shit, and literally this is their bullshit excuse saying, "Oh, Eris, you just gotta relax. Here you go. We give you what you want, and this is how you react." It's not what I want, because if it was, it would be concrete. And this is a lesson to everyone. This is everybody who tried to tell you that that's game. Everybody tries to tell you that, oh, all you have to do is wait for them to break up. No, she's trying to get you in trouble. Because if she was trying to have you wait, she wouldn't be doing shit to literally drive it forward into a faster motion by literally teasing you, making you want it more, making you comfortable to a point where you fuck up. And you can't do that. You can't allow someone to literally have that much control over you. She would literally screech like a freaking sea otter and shit. Literally having loads and loads of personality, asking me, do I want to do this and that, when she has a boyfriend. That's why I never fell for it. The other ones were in the same boat and shit, and literally this was a reoccurring issue. Oh, you're this and that, you're Chris Brown from high school, this and that. I constantly get pranked on, I constantly get played, and literally I figured it out now that I'm older that they're not getting pussy either. You have is respect, and I realized that respect is so much better than pussy. And the reason why I make this video was literally to tell people like, yo, me chilling with 4 cheerleaders in fourth period doesn't mean shit, because it's not escalating to anything, because I'm not fucking them. Why should I care if I'm being teased? I'm not gaining any social validation. I'm not gaining any social outlets through them, which is what happens when you interact with a girl. Girls have more of an advantage in society than guys when it comes to being social. And literally, when you hook up with a girl and you're able to keep it at a friendship level, they give you resources. And I understood that, and that's why I didn't fall for a lot of manipulations when I was an adult, because of literally, there was this one time where I asked Uncle Jay, why is it that I can only, sleep with them, but I can't go anywhere with them and stuff? And Uncle Jay replied, he's all like, oh, this and that. Why you think that women have more game than men? And I'm all like, what? I'm like, no, I want to do all the shit that they do. I want to go out and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, you can get that on your own. He's trying to ignore that there's a pussy pass. It was at a time where I was dominating, where I was getting tired of this literally an in and out thing. I wanted something that was actually going to take me places, which is why I didn't stick with that street life. I didn't want to do dumb shit anymore. It's because I realized that they want you for what you can do for them. Then they leave you with nothing in return, and that's why I don't fall for that. They used to always force me to dance in high school. The cheerleaders tried to force me to dance especially, and I would get nothing out of it. Literally, they would force me to dance. They would literally get my attention, and literally they would even give me advice like, oh, you keep trying, let it come to you. Do all this stuff just to keep me around, and I get nothing out of it, which is why I didn't fall for it. But why did I keep going back for it? It's because literally, fourth period was just so shitty that I could not stay there. I could if I wanted to be honest with you, but you gotta pass up, the visuals, and those cheerleaders were telling me to be gangster, and I'm all like, fuck that. I realize now that I'm older that all that symbolism, all the shit that they're doing in front of me, but they're not giving me the chance to be free. It's like they're trapping me with the perspective that they're gonna give it to me, but they never give it to me. But they give the best impression that they will give it to me. So how I dealt with it is I called her out once I finally got her number, and I started texting her. I'm like, I wrote you a song. And it was they were treating me like the Chris Brown about high school, so I did anyway. I'm like, I wrote you a song, and she's like, I have a boyfriend. Why the fuck are you sending me songs? And I talked to the guy that was there. There was always one guy that was hella chill that was there. And literally, I talked to him, and we had a good ass conversation about why I have a girlfriend in high school. But obviously, I didn't say that. But why I obviously want pussy, and literally, I didn't want a girlfriend. I want pussy, because what I wanted is when I finally went to the hyperbolic time chamber, I realized the strength of always having someone there through thick and thin. And I realized that that's what I wanted, and I didn't actually just want just sex, and sex is only gonna last for so long, but it's with the right person. And I carefully evaluated this by testing to see if Lisa could roast, by commenting on her overhaul, saying that her overhaul beak is just used to sniff cocaine, and she couldn't roast back, and she couldn't do anything, but at the last minute she could roast, and that's how I knew she was saving it. She told me that she lived in New York, even though I met her in Las Vegas, so I believed her, so I decided to cut it off really soon. How this ties into the cheerleader is she gave me solid, concrete validation on paper. If somebody would have recorded her twerking, that would have, went bad. But you know what? I was cool with that one cheerleader, because that one guy was hella cool with me, and I shook his hand the whole time while he's flirting with me. He knew that he was about to cut it off, because he was doing that shit for me and him to get in the fight, and he had my back, and he shook my hand every single time. He always told me what's up, and he didn't betray me for 1 second. But that fourth period let me know a lot, that what you see is what you get. But I didn't know that they had something in mind. I was physically on the same level of attractiveness as all four of them, and literally that's why I could be with all four of them. But I was missing a key ingredient. In the real world, there's no key ingredient for that. What you see is what you get. If a guy is hanging out with four girls, yes, they're having fun, okay? But in high school, when we're considered little kids, I knew it's a trap, and that's why before I get my resources, they were trying to get me to do dumb shit, and I'm all like, no, I can't do that. It's like the hint is I'm sexy, but I have to meet a certain requirement to do a certain receipt. I have to do something specific in order to get that pussy. I'm like, so you're telling me that you're gonna offer me something and then give me rules? That bitch was hella sexy. I saw her a couple of times when I was adult, and she let me know it was all good. Out of high school, it was good, but when you're dealing with bad shit, it wasn't good. But the good thing about that is I learned a lot, and I kept in touch with like one of them, but I have my own personal life. But back then, when I thought girls were everything, literally, I thought about it. I'm like, dude, this is when me and the devil have a conversation about, see, this is everything you want. It was exactly my taste of woman too. She was light skinned, and she had a big ass butt, and she was Latina. And it was hella freaking cool. I had everything I wanted in that. Always sexual individuals will always talk about sex during fourth period, but we never actually had sex. But what kept me in line was my homie telling me that that was her boyfriend. And that dude knew what she was doing the whole time, and I thought that he didn't know. And I thought that he didn't know, but it was just a tease. And he knew, and I knew